All right, if somebody can get the door too before we get going.
Is you go to Garnet often? Oh, okay. I thought the radio thing was interesting. No?
Yeah. You don't know where you came from. Let's make sure
How long will you miss the flea market? I have to work at some point. I can be tomorrow night. I know.
All right, welcome to the Shell. If anybody's never been here before, this is our libertarian clubhouse on the seacoast. We started a couple years ago. We actually have a comedy event next week, or no, Halloween next week. So come back again next week for Halloween. We're a membership-based organization. Who are the Shell members here? We got a few Shell members. So this is how we keep the lights on. So if you want to donate to the Shell or become a member, we really appreciate it. Our first guest is none other than Reed Coverdale. He's a podcaster, a trucker, and just an everyday man. Give it up for Reed Coverdale.
How's everyone doing tonight? Good to be here. As many of you know, I moved back to New Hampshire recently. I was out west, and it's good to be back. I've helped create some chaos online, and if I tried that shit out in Utah, they would have excommunicated me. So I'm definitely in the right group of people around here. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, we're all the way over here on the border of another state, and you know, I hope everyone has been having a good week. But around the world, that hasn't been the case necessarily. If you're in eastern Ukraine right now, you're living under martial law, and there's all these all these battles over whether you should belong to Russia or Ukraine or whatever. And it kind of struck me that if we are successful with this Free State Project and we actually secede from the Union, we're going to cut off the entire state of Maine from the rest of the United States. So I think we're actually just going to have to annex them. I don't really think they have much of a choice. I mean, they're the Golan Heights to our Israel, the Donbass to our Russia, however you want to look at it. But anyway, our first guy who's going to actually be funny and make funny jokes, Ian Stewart. He's from the great state of Maine. He is the king of comedy from Portland. So let's all give a hand for Ian as he comes up on the stage.
Give it a read, everybody. Let them know, guys. Fuck yeah! How are we doing tonight? We doing good? We're hanging out? It's sweet. I've never done comedy in fucking Epstein's sex dungeon. This is fun. This is good. Holy shit. I got like half the room looks like a fucking acupuncture studio, and the other half just looks like fucking chains and whips and Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean? Like just fucking brutal. I feel like I'm on the set of Saw right now. I don't know. So we're doing good. We're hanging out. Yeah? We're drinking. I heard it's all libertarians in here. Yeah, you're talking about like Bohemian Grove and shit like that, right? Fuck yeah. But I mean, here's the thing about Bohemian Grove. Like, I know it's all like, you know, awful people are there, but like it kind of looks fun, doesn't it? Like, don't, right? You kind of want to show up and do it, burn some fucking effigies, just me. Fair enough. Very happy to be here. Recently moved, was living in the big city. My wife wanted one of those cool tiny houses. You know what I'm talking about? A tiny house? Yep. Very chic, very cool. I want to live off the grid, like a prepper, so we compromised, and now we're living in central Maine on a trailer park. Dreams are coming true. I like being from Maine. How many people here have been to Maine? I'm assuming everyone, right? Yeah. Is anyone from Maine? Yeah, all right, it's fine, all right, sweet. Do you have like cool Maine accents?
Yeah, sure, bud.
Dude, that sounds like such a fucking state fucking fed fucking entrapment voice right there. Good God, that was not the voice I was looking for. All right. I like being from Maine. Maine's got a cool accent. I feel like New Hampshire, you guys don't really have the New, right? Yeah. We got the Maine accent's like the Massachusetts accent, missing a chromosome, right, a little bit. It's a good accent. I like the Maine accent. The Maine accent that was voted number 4, sexiest accents in the entire country by a national publication. Now here's the thing, I'm not making that shit up. That's fucking for real. Does anybody here believe that shit though? No. There's not a single woman in this audience tonight that wants their lady parts all stoved up, right? That's fucking gross. The Maine accent's ever been an aphrodisiac. I'm a Maine man. I can't walk into the room with my wife tonight like a wicked high dude. Send it, mother. It's not working. Send it, mother ain't working. Send it, mother is a phrase I heard at the only strip club we have in Maine. We've got one strip club. Have you guys been? No, fucking cops. Jesus Christ. No, we've got one strip club in Maine. A little bit different. Like if you go to like Boston, like all the girls have like normal stripper names like Candy and Cinnamon and Jasmine. Strong American stripper names. That is not the case up in Maine. We were at a show at the Maine strip club, right, having a good time. There's a girl dancing, and my buddy, being a gentleman, goes, "Honey, what's your name?" And she stops dancing. She's like, "Barbara." Like, oh. It was the first time I saw a Carhartt thong. I was like, this is too much. I took my roll of quarters and I left. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of there. Fuck that. Hey, give it up for the Shell for having indoor comedy, by the way. Fuck yeah. Comedy and life is kind of like coming back into like the real, like we had to do like comedy during COVID. We just had to do like so much outdoor shit. It was all like outdoor comedy shows. The first.
Not here. 2020.
You were doing comedy shows in here? Fuck yeah.
November 2020.
Alright, fuck yeah, alright, fuck yeah. I feel like
80 people in here.
you might have cocaine. I don't know. You sound like you know how to party, dude. Fuck yeah. That's the thing. We need spaces like that. It was all outdoor shit. And like right in the beginning of the COVID thing, like I don't stop being a comic. I still do shows, and we got an outdoor show in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, right? Some hoity-toity shit, and it's like this mansion party, right? And it's a very COVID safe at the time mansion party. Everyone in the neighborhood of the mansions, it's all mansions. They all come with like their own seats and their own beer, and they sit on this lawn, and we're performing on this porch on this mansion. And the woman that had put on the show, she had all these COVID-safe snacks in bags on different tables in front of her house. And there's like a ton of snacks, and I'm hanging out with like the opening comic, and he's looking at the snacks. He's looking at the cookies, looking at the brownies, and he's like, "Yo, dude, like, do you think those are pot brownies? Do you think those are magic brownies?" And I was like, "Bro, we're on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Don't be silly, you know? Like, those are cocaine brownies. These people have money here, dude. Fuck yeah. Xanax brownies at a minimum, for sure." So I love this audience looks like they're, I don't know, it's like a, I don't know. This audience, honestly, I feel like everyone's audience has been to Jurassic Park. I don't know how to like describe it other than that. There's like a ruggedness, but also like a smart thing going on. Like you sir, you look like you own the X-Men. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Yeah, you know what I mean? You got this fucking Professor X thing going on. I got kids. Does anybody here have kids?
Yep.
Oh yeah. How old?
14, 3, and 1.
You have a 14-year-old?
He's right there.
Oh, damn! Wow! Holy shit, this is like a family affair. You look like 3 years older than him, by the way. It's a very... And you've aged well, but he's aged like a vampire, apparently. Good God. How old are you? Can I ask how old are you?
31.
Wait, what the fuck is the math on that? What the fuck? Is this like a Jerry Springer episode? Holy shit. All right, fair enough. 31. All right, fuck yeah. I loved you on MTV, I guess. I don't know. All right, so you got a 3-year-old and then the 1-year-old as well. I'm 36, and I've got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. The 5-year-old's a fucking terrorist. If you ever had like a young child, he's too full of like fucking grit. He's my shopping buddy. We go shopping every Sunday for our big shop at Hannaford's, right? And Hannaford's our big shopping day, Sundays, and we fill the cart up with all our groceries. We're about to like, you know, leave. We're getting to the counter, and as we get to the register, he jumps in front of my cart. He goes, "Daddy, watch this!" And he gets in like the position where he's gonna like do like a karate chop or like a karate kick or like a cartwheel. He takes this big breath. He goes, "Oh my fucking God!" I was like, "Bro, we don't use those words at Hannaford's. Those are Shaw's words only." I'll let them say the C word at Shaw's, just no F-bombs and handies, dude. I like being a dad. I used to be a party guy. I used to like travel around with bands and party in like the parking lots. I've always been like a party dude. But then like you get kids and it changes you, right? You get kids, you get more responsible. But occasionally you still need to kind of pop off as a party dude. And my wife is cool that she knows that, occasionally I have to like, drink a couple beers, smoke a couple joints, right? And, she allows it. She allows me to do whatever I want as long as like it's 10 o'clock at night, she's in bed, the kids are in bed, I'm like 80 feet away from the house, I got pet off under a playground. As long as I'm away, I can do what I want, And so a few nights ago, I am out back, I hammer some beers down, smoke a joint. I am obviously a snack dude, I like snacks. I walk into my house, and I'm also a Walmart dude. I buy all my shit at Walmart, but my wife is a fancy lady, she works in Portland, and she goes to Whole Foods to buy her like fancy snacks. And occasionally I'll have some like fancy snacks to peruse while I'm stoned. And so I walked in, and like on the counter is like this untouched, unopened box, teal box, big flowery letters on, just like sea salt chocolate chip caramel cookies. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, And I go over and I open the box, open the plastic. Oh, it smells so good. And I take one out just to try it. Take a second just to really identify how good that fucking shit was. And then I crush the entire fucking box like I'm a raccoon or a trash can, just and I decide that these cookies are so good, I'm gonna eat all of them. I'll wake up in the morning, drive an hour to Whole Foods from our house, buy more cookies, no harm, no foul, right? That's the plan. So I eat all the cookies, play some video games, go to bed. Wake up the next morning by my wife, kick me in the face, she's like, hey! She don't like fucking cookies. And I was like, hey, I did. But I'll go to Whole Foods right now and buy more fancy cookies, no harm, no foul. She's like, you can't do that, Ian. They're fancy cookies from the internet. It took 4 weeks for them to get here from the internet. And this is where I tell you at the time, she was still breastfeeding our second child. And I was like, well, why did it take 4 weeks for them to get off the internet? And she's like, Ian, they're breast milk cookies. And like initially I thought she meant like they were cookies made out of breast milk, and I was like, ew, that's hot, I don't know where I fall on that. She's like, no, Ian, they're cookies that help produce milk in the mammary glands. And you ate an entire fucking box. Folks, I went from a C cup to a D cup overnight. I'm working at the one strip club in Maine now, in Barbara. It's a good time. Yeah. Do I want to do a new joke? No, I'm gonna do this joke actually. You guys seem like a fun crowd, so I'm gonna do like a slightly dirty joke. Is that cool? Is that fine? All right. So does anybody here remember scrambled porn?
Yes.
Yes? All right, yes, all right, yeah. So like back in like the early 2000s, late 90s, you get like 60 cable channels, normal cable channels, right? CNN, MTV, Fox, whatever it is, MSNBC. But then after 60 were all these like scrambly channels, and channels 88, 89, and 90 were these scrambled porno channels, where at 10 o'clock the sound would come on. So it'd be all like blurry and scrambly, but you'd hear like the moans and the groans and the dialogue. And I don't know if you guys ever heard the dialogue of like early 2000s porn, but it's pretty much like, hey, did you order pizza? No! It's not a lot, it's not a lot. Not a lot, but enough, And at the time, it's not like the internet was roaring in 2001, And so I'm down at my parents' basement, channel 88, and the moans and groans are out of control. 10 o'clock, moans and groans are out of control, just like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. And occasionally, if you were lucky, the screen would unscramble into like an elbow or a kneecap or half an ab or a nipple, And so I'm watching channel 88, just ooh, ah, ooh, ah. The screen unscrambles, and it turns out I'm not watching porn. I'm watching pay-per-view wrestling. Which is why I love Goldberg to this day, guys. He's a fucking man. He's a handsome man. What can I say? So I write as a living. I write for a weed magazine in Maine. You guys have medical marijuana in New Hampshire, correct?
Yeah.
But it's not rec. But can anyone get a medical marijuana card in New Hampshire right now? No. I feel like no one here has no one's got a card. Everyone's like, we got a bunch of guns here, all right? Calm down. We have a fucking arsenal. We don't need fucking weed.
We can drive to Maine.
We can drive to Maine. All right. With her gun in her car. Fuck yeah. I like weed, and I've been writing about it forever. I've written for the High Times, written for the 420 Times, anything with weed and times I've written for. But I write for this magazine called the Cannabis Chronicle, and I've been writing enough where anytime I walk into a dispensary, usually people know me, especially like locally, as this guy who reviews weed, and they'll throw me some fucking free weed. And a couple weeks ago, literally 3 days in a row, I walked in and they're like, oh, you're the guy from the magazine, here's some fucking free weed. And I was pumped. Third day I walked into my wife, I was like, oh, guess who just got weed for free 3 days in a row? And my wife being like, cool, she's like, hey, you know what, I'm so glad that you're happy. I think it's great that people are recognizing you at these dispensaries, but do you know where no one's recognizing you, Ian? The bank. Like, it's good that all the people that look like they've died at a Grateful Dead show know who you are, but it's not like investment bankers going, Ian Stewart. It's dudes that look like you that know who you are. It's not financially available. I like being the bank. I like the bank though. I went to deposit a $25 check. That's where I'm at career-wise right now. Gave him a $25 check, and the woman behind the counter typed in my information, and she like perked up. She's like, oh my God, Mr. Stewart, I'm so glad you came into the bank. We had a discrepancy in your bank. Someone tried hacking into your account, but we stopped it. And I'm freaking out. Like, I don't have a ton of money to be hacked out. I was like, well, what happened? She's like, well, we see this all the time, and because of the time and because of the items, we kind of knew what was going on. We stopped it. I was like, well, what happened? She said, well, at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 weeks ago, someone tried buying a set of samurai swords. They bought a set of basketball shoes, and then they bought 2 passwords to porno sites. But because of the time and because of the items, we knew what it was. We canceled it. And I'm standing there frozen, just staring at it. And I was like, hey, that was my shit. Like, look at me, that's the shit I bought, right? Like, if it's a fucking salad and a bottle of water, then whoop, 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 not me. Cancel that shit. Samurai swords, me, right? Gym membership, whoop, 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 not me. I like pot. Anybody here like pot? Yeah. Do you like it before a meal or after a meal? Both. Oh, you're fucking savage. Just high all the time. Fuck yeah. I like it after a meal. I like it both, but like I especially like it like after a meal, a little digestif, if you will. You know what I mean? A little settle the stomach, right? My parents have a farm in Gorham, Maine. And they have these big blowouts with all the family on 4th of July. This last 4th of July, cooked all the food, completely overstuffed myself, needed a little relief, if you will. Went behind my parents' chicken coop. They got this little cool farm, and I lit up my little joint, my little after dinner pinna, right? My little fucking green bud, right in Hampshire. And I'm smoking it down like halfway through my joint, and I see my 5-year-old cousin from the side of the house start running towards me, right? So I try and snuff out the joint, but it's not quick enough because it comes rolling up on me. He's like, Cousin Ian! What's that smell? And I gotta be cool Cousin Ian. I was like, oh, don't worry, little buddy, it's just a skunk. That's just it. But then he calls up to my mom, he's like, oh, Ian! Ian's smoking weed with skunks! You little fucking narc, you know? It's okay that my parents don't really care. My parents are like aging hippies in their 70s. My mom's taking echinacea and ginseng and fish oil to live longer. My dad's taking LSD to live for eternity, so he's going the natural route. Has anyone here been caught with marijuana? Oh, wow, a lot. All right, fair enough. More than I thought. Really? How old were you?
Which time?
Oh, I don't know. So the first time I was caught with marijuana, I was 16 years old. It was by my mom. I was actually not smoking it. I was taking a shower. It was my 5th shower of the day because I was 16. Doesn't matter. Anyways, hanging out in the shower like a teenager does, you know. My mom's going through my room like a mom does. And behind my boom box, she finds a little Altoids container, which is everyone's first pot stash box, right? And she finds like the shittiest pot in the world. She freaks out. She runs into the bathroom where I am sudsing up, if you will. She grabs me by the arm and drags me stark naked into the kitchen where my dad's waiting, fuming mad. She's got the little Altoids container. She's waving around like an F on a report card, or if you get on the dark web ahead on a terrorist video, just... It's like, is this your pot? Is this your gosh darn pot, Ian? And before I can even answer, my dad jumps in with, and it's not even good shit. So 2 things, Dad. I'm 16 and I stole it from you, so... Get a better dealer, Dad. But there's like a new joke that's like on the tip of my fucking brain that I just can't... I don't know. So we're doing good, we're hanging out. I love your shirt is glowing like you're a fucking ecstasy dealer. That's fun. There was a guy with a cowboy. Where'd the cowboy hat guy go?
He's here.
Is he still wearing the? Oh, he's still wearing the cowboy hat. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. You look like a character on like a dope ass like cowboy show. But you also kind of look like you know how to like train reptors.
Oh, I know some things.
Yeah, no, I believe you do. No, I feel like there are multiple weapons in your boots right now. You know what I mean? You've got. What do you do for a living? Can I ask?
I'm a welder.
All right, that makes sense. Like some manly shit, and just all right, fuck yeah. And you're looking more manly now. Fuck yeah. Chip, are you a dip guy or like a?
Smoke.
You smoke? Just smoke. You're like fuck it, I'm smoking. All right, nice. Smoking, drinking, looking like a cowboy. Now, do you live in Maine or New Hampshire?
New Hampshire.
All right, so you have more guns. Fair enough. All right, I like that. Nice. And what do you like best about New Hampshire?
It's not Massachusetts.
We're all clapping, but he might have warrants, folks. You never know. No, I'm talking. I'm sure he doesn't.
Don't talk about that.
He's gonna fucking kill me after the show. Good God. I'll give you guys two options for stories. You guys want to hear about the time I defended a cabin in the woods, or the time I was in a Netflix movie?
Netflix. Netflix.
All right. I'll do both. Do I have time to do both?
Go for it.
All right, I got time to do both. All right, so I'll do Netflix first, and then we'll do Defending a Cabin. So Netflix, does anybody here watch like Netflix and Hulu and all that kind of shit? You guys watch that shit? It's Prime and all that stuff, right? So I've been in a bunch of TV shows. I've been in a show called I've been in a movie called The Putt-Putt Syndrome, which I think is on Hulu right now. I'm in a TV show called Loose Jokes, which is on Amazon Prime right now. And I'm in a movie called The Witch Files on Netflix right now. Has anyone seen The Witch Files?
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. It's an awful movie. But I am in it. And it's also the only time I didn't have to audition for a role. What happens, an old friend of mine, we used to party in the same bar in Portland, Maine, so we both have the same genital warts. But he moved out to Los Angeles and he started making these horror films and they were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he gave me a phone call about like 2.5 years ago. He was like, hey man, I'm shooting a brand new movie for Netflix. We're shooting 3 scenes in Bath, Maine, and we need a homeless guy. I was like, fuck yeah. He's like, just bring your normal clothes. Like, fuck you. But I was pumped, man. I was pumped. And this is the first time I didn't have to audition, and I had to be on set the next morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, but I decided that I was gonna like party, right? I got my fucking movie part, went to this place called Pat's Pizza on Market Street in Portland. I ate 2 large cheese pizzas by myself. This is before I knew I was lactose intolerant. And 3 pitchers of beer, because I am a champion. And I will say, the next morning, I was not hungover when I walked on the set. I wasn't hungover because I was still hammered out of my mind. I sloshed onto set. The first person that saw me was the makeup lady, and she pointed me out. She goes, hey, whoever just got him, great job. I haven't been to makeup yet. She's like, ooh, a character actor. Yeah. So I sloshed on the set, and if you actually watch the movie, the way we shot it and the way that it's been edited down is different, but the way we shot it, I was the 3rd jump scare, I was the 3rd boo, while the 2 main characters come walking down this alleyway, right? Like they come walking down the alleyway, slop from a restaurant gets thrown in front of them to scare them, boo, then a bird gets released over the top of them, boo, and then me, the 3rd jump scare, the homeless guy, I pop out of trash. These are my movie lines. I go, hey! Do either of you girls got $1? And they respond with, no, I'm sorry, we're fresh out. And I respond with, whores! Sorry. I'm still a character actor. Drop down. The director said I was a natural, which I think was kind of hurtful. But anyways. Yeah, no, I know. There was a sensitive... It's my Sophie's choice, you know what I mean? I could have called him a bunch of different things, but whores was just so good. So we have to do the scene over and over and over again. If you've ever been on a movie set, what happens is they shoot it, they tell you what they like, what they don't like, and they reshoot it. We shoot this thing like 19 times, right? And I'm feeling worse and worse and worse, because like that little, like me walking on the set, hammered, has now turned into like that weird day hangover, you know what I'm talking about? It's like you just want to die. You just feel like a fucking zombie. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse, and I feel awful. I feel like I'm holding myself in. And the director comes up and he's like, hey man, You know, we shot this thing like 18 times. This is probably like the last time we shoot this. I love what you're doing. I just really want to feel like the grime come off you. I really want to feel like you're really homeless. And I feel awful. I was like, yeah, whatever you want, man, right? So we set the scene back up, he yells action, the girls come walking down the alleyway, the slop gets released, boo, the burger gets released, boo, and I pop up. But this time when I popped up, everything that was in here, which is my tum-tum, makes a surprise exit. And not out the front, but out the back like Elvis does. So, what I knew though is I was the only one that knew what was going on. And I knew if I just got through this scene and nailed it, I could then run back into my car and then drive down to my house and hose myself off like a dog that's been a skunk, you know? So this is exactly how we do the last scene, right? They come walking down the alleyway, slop, boo, bird, boo. This is exactly how I pop up, just like this, just like this. Just... Hey, you girls gonna die? They respond with no, we're sorry, we're fresh out. And I respond with my last line, which is just, whores. And as I drop back down into the trash, the director looks at me from behind the camera and he goes, perfect. So if you guys see me on Netflix, I shit my pants, that's the joke. All right, last joke of my set. And give it up for the Jackman brothers for having me tonight, guys. Fuck yeah. I really appreciate it. So, who's got kids here? Kids? Anyone else? Did anybody here do a baby moon? You know what I'm talking about? Baby moon? So a baby moon is like a honeymoon before your first kid. It's like your last vacation right before you have your first kid. And my wife wanted to do a baby moon, but we had like no money. We're saving all of our money for our first child. So our only option was to go up to my uncle's cabin up in Eustis, Maine. And I feel like no one here knows where Eustis is because no one here looks like they smoke meth. The town slogan is, let's get useless in Eustis. I swear to fucking God. The cabin we went up to, it looks like the house in the movie Misery, if that makes sense to anybody. In the middle of nowhere, we're like 5 miles from fucking anything, right? And we get up there around the afternoon, very close to Halloween, fall, crisp night, we eat some spaghetti, go to bed very early. Around 10 o'clock at night, I'm awoken by sounds coming from outside this back end of this cabin. And I can't see anything, but I can hear like men's voices kind of muffled and leaves shuffling and twigs cracking, and it's getting closer and closer to this cabin in the middle of nowhere. And I'm freaking out, because I thought this was like my last romantic getaway. Like I didn't bring a gun or a dog or a knife. Like I brought porn and lube, you know what I mean? Like I had nothing to defend myself with. But I'm thinking like, as like an unarmed man, what can I really do to thwart off? It sounds like a group of dudes. I'm thinking like maybe as an unarmed man, maybe I can jump out, you know, scare them, you know, like they're like vermins near a trash can, something like that, you know. I'm amping myself up, and they're getting closer, and next to the door is a giant full-length mirror, and I catch my reflection, and I'm a big dude, but I'm not a threatening-looking dude, and with my hair down, like I look like if Jesus turned water into Bud Light, you know what I mean? Like it's just not a threatening look, you know. I feel like I gotta up the ante. Like I've got a pregnant, you know, wife up in the spot. These guys are coming towards us. Like, I do something. I'm thinking like maybe I can look crazy, right? Maybe I can look crazy and something like that. And maybe I'm thinking like, what's the best way to make a group of dudes think you're crazy? So just one solo dude, just completely naked, right? Just completely naked, jump out. They're gonna be like, oh my God, he's very Irish, and they're gonna run away. That's the plan, right? I'm like, oh, I got 3 balls. Oh no. So I'm ripping my clothes off, I've got my boxers, I'm ripping my boxers off, and as I do so, I notice on top of the refrigerator is a giant block of chef knives that I had completely gone over. Like, oh my God, I got a fucking weapon now, right? So I go over, I grab the biggest knife I can, you know, yeah! And I'm naked, yeah! And I look pretty fucking crazy, yeah! You know? But then I catch my reflection in that mirror, and I'm thinking, maybe a little too crazy. Like if I come jumping out naked with a knife wielded and I'm all crazy looking, these guys are armed, they're not gonna stop and ask questions, they're gonna fucking aim and fire. Like I get the math on it, but also if they're here to harm us, like I want a weapon. But also like if I'm just naked, like where am I gonna stash a weapon while I'm naked, you know? And I come up with the worst plan I have ever had. I take my big old butcher knife, I swing it around the backside of my body, blade out for safety, pinch it, very gingerly. And the plan is, I'm gonna open the door fully nude, and if that's not enough, reach around, bam, ass knife. Yes, that's the plan. So I'm completely naked, secure, if you will, and I hear the first boot hit the first step of the deck, and I am rearing to go. I take the door, I wrench it open, just and staring right back at me are 3 high school kids. 3 high school kids, they all had eggs in their hands. As I said, it was very close to Halloween. They're all frozen in place, fucking staring at my 3 balls, just can't fucking move. And I realized very quickly, like, these kids are kids like I was these kids in high school. Like, I was like that skater punk that went to the woods with my buddies and smoked a pinner joint and threw eggs at like my neighbor's house. Like, I was these kids. They're fucking morons, but they're harmless. They're not here to harm us, right? So I relaxed. Completely forgot about my ass knife. The ass knife comes sailing down from behind me, sticks straight up into the wood of the deck with a fucking thump, and the kid in the back of the group just raises a shaky hand. He goes, "He's shitting knives!" And that's the only fight I've ever won in my fucking life, guys. Fuck yeah. Give it up for your host, Reed, everybody. Let go!
Let's just give it up for Ian real quick. Great job. We're coming to the part of the show where if you're a Saudi national or a Zionist, you probably just want to leave because it's going to get pretty offensive. Earlier this week, I went to a Don Baldick event to try to ask some questions. Tulsi Gabbard was here campaigning for him, which was kind of strange, if you ask me. But I was there to ask him about his positions on foreign policy, because he said some really inflammatory stuff about Russia and China and Iran and basically everybody. So I just wanted to ask him about those. But a few years ago, I actually worked on Tulsi Gabbard's campaign here in New Hampshire when she was running for president. And I met the Jackman brothers on that campaign. And these guys really impressed me because I was on this campaign with a bunch of Democrats and I felt really kind of icky and weird, like I didn't belong, because I wasn't a Democrat, I was already a libertarian, and I was just there for the foreign policy stuff mostly, and a couple other things like the drug war and whatever. But the first couple events I went to, I just felt kind of strange, and then I met the Jackmans, and they had worked on Ron Paul's campaigns and Gary Johnson's campaign, and they were like really, really based liberty guys. And then after the campaign, I got to know them really well, and we've actually done a show together. Anyone here watch The Four Horsemen ever? All right, sweet. So these guys are great. They have tons of political knowledge, and they really know how to mix it with a sense of humor. And they dig into a lot of the really nitty-gritty, nasty stuff that most people don't want to talk about. And the way that we kind of deal with it is just through really crass, awful humor, because it's kind of the only way to do it. But we got Eric and Mike who are going to come up on the stage. Eric is a renowned Trump impersonator. He does it professionally. He's been blessed with Donald Trump's approval, and at an event, he called him out, had him come up on the stage. It's pretty cool. You can look that up on video. But we're just going to come up here and we're gonna riff for a little while, just have some fun. So let's give a round of applause for the Jackman brothers.
How we doing, everyone?
Yeah.
We tested it. We do fit. We do fit. This thing gonna come down like Building 7. Reed's the with a truck driving. Reed knows weight capacity. So you met the requirement. I think so. Here, why don't I take the cord one since you can pass this one? Okay.
Yeah, we're just passing vibrators up here like Stormy Daniels. Like you wouldn't believe.
Hey, show, how you doing tonight? Great to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you, Scott and Mr. Pratt, for having us. This is a cool spot you guys got here. It's my first time here, so we're gonna have a lot of fun and hopefully let it rip. Reed, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I was wondering though, I mean, I've been hearing lots of stories about something in the water. I mean, we got Alex Jones here. I know he'll be talking about the frogs and how they've been affected, but something else, a newer story about what's being leaked into the water, and I know you have an expert who can tell us a little bit about that.
Well, hello, I'm a doctor. My name's Dr. Rand Paul. I don't know if you guys campaigned for me or voted for me or don't like me or you're indifferent. I don't really care, as you can see by my excitement. One thing I don't approve of or appreciate is being in a committee hearing and having Dr. Fauci under oath and saying, Dr. Fauci, do you support putting puberty blockers and drugs in the hands of minors without parental consent? And Dr. Fauci just shrugs me off and smirks at me, like a scorned lover after the first date. I don't enjoy that, Reed, as you can tell.
You don't seem like you really enjoy much of anything, Dr. Paul. I mean, you always seem kind of annoyed that you have to be there in the first place whenever you're speaking.
I'd rather be in Guatemala doing cataract surgery, quite frankly. And I like New Hampshire for the liberty reasons, but it's kind of fucking cold up here. I don't know if you've ever been to Kentucky. We have bourbon, we have heat, we have turkeys on the side of the road, and we have weird libertarian ideas. Except for Mitch McConnell, he's got a turkey neck that looks like a vagina. You could do some foreplay with that, Reed. Maybe some 5-play. And I just want to make one more point. The last time I had Dr. Fauci under oath, I said, Dr. Fauci, have you at any time conspired with Michael Vick to do dogfighting? And he smirked at me. And the Halloween version of that, I said, Dr. Frankenstein, are you giving underage minors puberty blockers without parental consent? What did he do, Reed? He smirked at me. And he said, I look forward to working with you because it's a very nuanced thing, and I'm going to come into your office, and we're going to do that together.
I'm not sure he knows about how much money we spent on that parking lot at that gas station in Pakistan, though.
Well, we already gave $70 billion to Zelensky so he could get high heels and pumps and make music videos. We're spending all this money sending over to Ukraine. I don't think people are in favor of that. Are you guys in favor of that? No. You guys don't want to send them any more money. I mean, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff and gain-of-function research. They're getting transgender surgery for bats at wet markets. I know you're not in favor of that, Ian. I know you're from Maine, but I don't think any of us are in favor of that. Thank you, Dr. Paul.
Rand Paul, everybody. So yeah, it's awesome to finally be in a room that 100% supports Israel. This is great. This is awesome. And Ukraine, by the way. Slava Ukraine. And yeah, as Reed said, so this is strange. Our world is strange. We live in a clown world, and we can all agree on that, right? And it gets weirder and weirder every day. And I have to remind myself, and I have to remind Reed, Twitter is not real life. Only when you're attacking Meghan McCain. That is Now, this is where Trump can chime in a little bit. Boy, she is disgusting, okay? I thought that Rosie O'Donnell was a fat, ugly whale. Boy, Meghan McCain, boy, run for money.
Happy holidays.
We got Reed Coverdale. This guy, he's a truck driver. He was out in Utah smuggling Mormons on the interstate, like you wouldn't believe. And he puts out a tweet. He goes on to Twitter, binga banga boonga 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 Twitter. Barron's good with Twitter, by the way. My son Barron, he's a 6'7" autistic alien. He's incredible. And Reed goes on to Twitter, and he puts out a tweet. Oh, I can't say it was you, Reed. We can't admit that, can we?
Whatever, it's too late.
We can say, we all know it was Reed. Everybody in China knows, Russia knows, Uzbekistan knows, Venezuela knows, South Korea knows, Azerbaijan knows. Everybody knows it was Reed, okay? But Reed puts out a tweet. And I miss Twitter, by the way. We like Elon Musk in here. How do we feel about Elon? Is he gonna buy Twitter? What's he doing? Is he opening up brothels on Mars with gay trannies? I don't know what he's doing, okay?
President Trump, do you know Elon Musk? Have you ever met him before?
He could come in here right now chained on all fours on a leash and I wouldn't recognize him. Okay? I don't know who he was. He could come in here right now getting pegged by Ghislaine Maxwell and I wouldn't recognize him. Okay? I wouldn't know who he is. But Reed puts out a tweet and all hell breaks loose. What happened, Reed? What happened with the tweet? Talk to me about the mentions. Talk to me about Meghan McCain.
Yeah, I think she put more attention on our tweet than she did on selling her book on her father's gravestone.
Rand Paul just wants to chime in one more time. I'm not for aggressing or invading countries or telling anybody what to do, but I think we need to immediately get Meghan McCain on caloric restriction. Can we agree on that?
So one thing that we say a lot on our show when we do the Four Horsemen is that, you know, all three of us used to care about policy, at least at some level, but now, I mean, we just know nothing that we want to happen on a federal level is ever going to happen. So it's really just about maximum chaos and entertainment. So, you know, what do you think about Trump versus DeSantis for primary coming up, Eric? What are you hoping to see?
Well, you know, I will start. First of all, Ron DeSantis, who the hell is this guy? Okay? He was some obscure congressman, probably getting blown in the bathhouse down in D.C. Probably,
With
okay?
Charlie Crist.
With Charlie Crist, okay? Fake baked tan, Ken doll, Barbie doll, okay? And I don't know a lot about him, but he was at like 1% to 2% running for governor. I endorsed him. And he shot up like a rocket ship. He did. He went up like a rocket ship. He did, and he won the election. He wouldn't become governor if it wasn't for me, okay? So he's being very disloyal right now. He's being a loser. He's low energy. He's disgusting, and I have those tapes of him. I do have the tapes, okay? Ghislaine sent it to me from her nice Camp Cupcake down in Florida, okay? She's down there in the Camp Cupcake. It's like Martha Stewart meets Margaritaville meets the Villages, okay? But it's incredible. It's incredible. And the Meghan McCain tweet, what are the numbers on it, Reed? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I think around 12 million impressions.
Think about that. 12 million impressions, and it was just organic, and it was just fueled on outrage. Outrage and anger. But it made the point that when you actually raise legitimate points about the two warring parties, it's really just, it's one party. It's uniparty, as we know, here in the shell, right? The establishment. That's what they are. bunch of warmongering assholes. And that tweet really hit a nerve, so I think it moved the needle, Reed. I really think it did.
Yeah, well, I think what it showed is that if you're serious about something, you know, you can tweet out policy positions all day long and how awful someone is, hit every bullet point, and nobody cares until you do something a little bit offensive, which has really been the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire's approach for about over a year and a half now. We've noticed that the only way that you get attention from the media that hates you is if you do something that makes them mad, which, you know, Trump was kind of the pioneer in that. I mean, he didn't have to pay for any media. He got wall-to-wall coverage constantly because he just said dumb shit all the time.
They gave me $6 billion, excuse me, they gave me $6 billion, okay? I do Trump too, by the way. If he's too hungover or too drunk or both, they bring me in, okay? They bring this face, look at this face. Look at this face, okay? All right?
You know who else got nuked off of Twitter was Alex Jones. You know, and I was saying this back in 2018. Whether you like, hate, love, whatever, or indifferent about Alex Jones, his middle name's Emmerich, which is High German, by the way, folks. It's High German. This is what I said back in 2018. I said first they came for Emmerich, okay, and it's true. They came for him first. Look, Reed. I gotta raise $1 billion really quick. Do you know anybody with $996 million plus $4 million hanging around that I could get that fell off the truck? I mean, these Sandy Hook families are fucking killing me, Reed. Let me tell you that. This stuff's crazy. I never said it didn't happen. I just said it was just a fake event, but I never said it didn't happen.
Alex, have you ever thought about starting a war in Ukraine to play this off?
I didn't bring down Building 7 in New York City. I didn't invade Iraq and kill 1 million people. I didn't loot the treasury for $20 trillion and give Hank Paulson a blowjob and a reach around. I didn't do any of those things, folks. Yet they're demonizing me. They want to come after me, Alex Jones. They want to try and say I did all this stuff. I'm not the one turning the freaking frogs gay, folks. That's not me. I'm not doing that. It's disgusting what's going on right now. I've just had another hour of InfoWars, PusherPlanet.com. I'm doing 25 hours a day, folks. 25 hours a day, and I have bone broth on my website. I have red pill, I got blue pills for you, I got dick pills. Look, folks, I have a helicopter. I have to fuel my helicopter, folks, okay? I gotta fly that thing over my ex-wife's property twice a week to check on wrecks and make sure everything's going okay. You think it's cheap to fuel that thing? You're goddamn right it's not. I got whiskey expenditures. I got ammo expenditures. I got a side deal going with some cattle in Austin. I'm trying to do. I've got barbecue expenditures, folks. Fighting the deep state isn't the problem, okay? Trying to fucking feed my staff, trying to have whiskey, trying to do all these things and have the spirit flow through me like I do every week. I need you all to go to SaveInfoWars.com and give me all your money right now. Let's do it. Let's do it, Reed. Oh, I'm joining the Libertarian Party, by the way.
I didn't know if George W. Bush was here tonight, if he could weigh in on what should happen to people who lie about death-related items, you know, what should happen to that.
I'll tell you what they do. They become painters. I love seeing all those stumps of all the veterans who I bless. You know, you're going to live under a bridge, but God bless you. Thanks for leaving that arm in Iraq so that Lynn Cheney could become the chairman for J6 committee. Fuck Liz Cheney, by the way.
Yeah!
Fuck that bitch! Fuck her, okay? Her and all her neocon marauding fucking assholes down there. And yeah, we're talking. I did run on a humble foreign policy. I did. I'm starting to sound like Rand. See, the impressions bleed into each other. Everything used to be Trump, now everything's Rand. So I got to try and do George W. again, which I actually won an impersonation contest going into. I went to Keene State College and they had a group building thing. And they said, you need to do an impression, and this was 2005. So it was in vogue to hate Bush for liberals back then. They love him now, but they didn't like him so much back then. So I did a Bush impression, and
yeah, the liberals love Liz Cheney now.
Yeah.
Bush. You know, Liz Cheney, she compared herself to Abraham Lincoln and said if she ran for president, she'd hope to be like Abraham Lincoln. And I hope that if she does become president, she does emulate Lincoln's love for the theater.
well, I would say another failed actor took her career down as well. Okay, quite frankly, we took her career, and she's gone. She's not coming back. Okay, she's not going to be like a bad case of herpes that flares up. The gavel belongs to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's be honest. So do we love Marjorie Taylor Greene or what? Eric actually spent some time with Marjorie Taylor Greene at the Capitol. Why don't you tell us about that?
Oh yeah. That girl does squats, by the way, too. You heard all about her working out in the gym, and she's banging her trainer, and she's doing Taibo and doing the Macarena. You know, she's a little bit of a butter. Look, I'm not Brad Pitt, okay? You know, I could lose like 5, 10, 15, 200 pounds. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a hot ticket. So do we know Primetime 99 Alex Stein? Here. So Reed's buddies with him. I'm buddies with him. We knew him. We basically knew him before he was super.
Yeah, he came on Tower Gang before he was anything.
Wow. He was on with YouTube. Yeah, he told you made him.
Yeah, that's right. And so we had Primetime on Jackman Radio, and we become buddies with him. And it happened, the stars aligned that we were both going to be in Washington, D.C. The same day. And he had a comedy show planned that he was going to do down there. And this is when he, the day before the comedy show was supposed to happen, he was down trolling on the hill, and he ran into AOC. Did anyone see that video? Yes. At Primetime, he's like, "There's my favorite big booty Latina. Ooh, look at that." You know, it was incredible. It was everything. It was just basically the 1950s. Big deal, you know. So what? Oh, you want the job? Can you type? Yes. Okay. Is your dress tight? Yes. Do you give good blowjobs? Hired. And Stein, you know, he catcalled her and did what he did, and it blew up. It got all over Fox. It got millions of views. So his comedy show got canceled, and we were texting back and forth, and I landed at Reagan,
Mr. President, can you remember?
I can't recall.
That's our Reagan joke.
That's a Reagan joke. What do you say about Reagan?
You know, not so
He met
much.
with Gorbachev in Iceland. That was good.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
the nuclear
that. That's
discussion.
right when we were born. Yeah, we'll get to the nukes. And Jeremy Coughlin gonna make those nukes gay. Gonna make them gay as fuck. But Primetime said my comedy show got canceled, so I think we're just gonna meet anyone who wanted to go. I'm putting it out there. Let's just meet on the steps of the Capitol. So I was like, all right, man. So I showed up to the Capitol, and we're getting to that. We're getting to insurrections and erections. Believe me. And Exactly. And I got there, and Primetime had a circle around him, and there was probably 30 or 40 people. He was doing his thing, and he spotted me, and he said, "There's Eric Jackman from New Hampshire," and we chatted, and so he was doing his thing and talking, and then I look over, and I see someone coming who has like an entourage around them, and I'm like, who is this? What does Primetime have up his sleeve? And it's Marjorie Taylor Greene wearing this like she's in the band ABBA, wearing like a one-piece red suit, which is it's hot. It's hot. We're all looking. We like what we see. And she comes over and she spits a few words, and her and Primetime go back and forth. And I didn't realize this. On her staff now is what the hell is Milo Yiannopoulos? Remember him? So, dude, I was so pissed about this. So I'm there, like,
not gay anymore, right?
Yeah, he's not gay anymore, which is crazy. We were talking about Bilderberg, we talked about Bohemian Grove. I don't know about that, folks. So Milo was standing next to me the whole time, and he's just like changed his look, and I had no idea it was him. So I was bummed because I've always wanted to meet him and chat with him. But Marjorie was great. So Primetime and Marjorie went back and forth, and I did Trump, and I said, look, we got Marjorie Taylor Greene here, okay? And we're doing our own soft J6, okay? It's a soft J6. And I want to promote an MMA fight right now, folks. This is a world exclusive, okay? I put it out on True Social, but nobody read it, okay? Obviously. Except for the Chinese, okay? They're great people, great investors, horrible people. You know, in one breath, he's like, the Saudis are terrible people. They did 9/11. They're cutting people's heads off. And he's like, I love you, Saudi Arabia. I'm going to sell you billions in arms.
Him with the Saruman ball with the Saudis image.
Yeah. Trump put his hand on the ball with Melania and King, you know, whoever it was.
Mohammed Bonesaw Man.
Mohammed Bonesaw Sr., okay? He's Mohammed Chop Saw, okay? But I said, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Georgia Peach, is going to fight the bartender from Queens, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And I said, Alex, go get me my drink, get me my Diet Coke, okay? But it was cool meeting Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I just took a picture with her, and I wanted to post it because I knew it was going to just piss so many people off. And one of my old teachers, who was a principal for a while here in New Hampshire, commented on it. Oh, this is a moment where you decide if it's okay to spit on somebody. That's how fucking triggered people are if you just post a picture with someone that they don't like. But I put it up just for a response, and you saw the response that I got, Mike.
A lot of people were
butthurt, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you get a photo with someone, you have to endorse all their views.
Do you believe everything?
No.
You guys would be in trouble if you had to endorse all the views of everybody you've taken pictures with.
He was photographed with John McCain. That's pretty pornographic. That's pretty pornographic. Oh shit. Shit, I was too.
I was photographed with George W. Bush.
Oh, we're airing all the dirty laundry tonight, folks. All the dirty laundry. Yeah, isn't there photos of you as a little baby, a little Coverdale with a George W. Bush sign?
Oh, yeah, I was 10 years old with my brother.
Yeah, a little baby Nat Cap.
Yep. Hey, come a long way. I think it's good to remind ourselves where we've been, though, in the past. Yeah, like you guys were John Kerry simps, I was a George W. Bush simp, so, you know, we can all, can you imagine if we saw ourselves now back then, how horrified we'd be?
Cringe. You need to vote Democrat, fuck George Bush. And I found out they're both cousins, they both masturbate in the same coffin at Yale. These guys are 7 cousins.
We're going to do a quick bathroom break. Keep it going.
Oh, he's doing a bathroom break. I'll sign out and take the pass.
Actually, Alex, I think he's going to Bohemian Grove right now.
Yeah, he's going to pee on a redwood tree out back with Henry Kissinger, who's going to be wearing a thong and a coconut bra. It's kind of amazing to see, though, Reed, like a lot of that subculture has now become kind of mainlined. Anybody here ever watch House of Cards? Yeah. Remember that's before Spacey got, you know, although actually Spacey was, we know about Spacey, and it makes sense he was in that.
It's very sad.
It makes sense that he was in that show, and it was based on the Clintons, and a lot of people were like, wow, this actually makes them look nice.
He was just a method actor, what can you say?
Exactly. And this is before he was on Epstein's jet, too, by the way, Reed. But, yeah, in House of Cards, they have an episode where it's about Bohemian Grove. It's a thinly, do you guys remember that episode? It's a thinly veiled reference to Bohemian Grove. And it's interesting to see that that's, more and more people know about that now, Reed, but there's still a lot of people who don't know about it. What do you know about it, Reed? You ever been there?
I don't know Bohemian Grove. I've never met him. If he came in here on all fours, I wouldn't recognize him.
Apparently, our opener, Ian Stewart's been there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the Welcome to Maine web series? Ian's the creator and writer of that. It's freaking funny, brilliant stuff. So next time you're on the Facebooks and the interwebs, and check out Welcome to Maine. That's the creator right there. So, but yeah, Alex Jones hasn't been doing so well lately, has he?
No, he hasn't been doing so. I mean, like I said, I think if he started a war in Ukraine, he might be able to fund his lawsuit.
Yeah. All right, we might send him $67 billion.
Yeah, we might.
So he'd be $66 billion above water.
Yes.
Yeah. So Reed, tell us about going to the Bolduc event. Expand on that a little bit. Reed said in his intro he went and saw General Bolduc, and he has a really strong anti-war message, right?
Yeah. Just go visit LP New Hampshire on Twitter and just scroll down for like 10 minutes. You'll see all his great anti-war takes. But yeah, General Bolduc seems like a nice person, and he's always willing to interact with anybody that makes it up to him and tries to talk to him. But his campaign staff tries to do everything they can to keep that from happening. So even though I haven't given them any reason to worry about my presence because I've never had an outbreak of any sorts or anything, they asked me to leave an event on Monday when I was standing in line, and it was just because of the question that I was going to ask him, which is, why should I, as an anti-war libertarian, vote for someone who wants war with Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, Venezuela, like every single country? I think it's a fair question to ask.
It is a fair question. I think what it was Reed's resting liberty bitch face. Have you guys ever seen that? I'll see if I can. This is Reed in the audience listening to a neocon after 5 minutes.
You can just watch my podcast. It's the same face.
Yeah, he looks like Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It's like Liberty's Frylock. It's like, this is me happy. It's everything though.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard came out as not being a Democrat last week, and I was wondering if Caitlyn Jenner could, give us a little insight into what it's like to come out to a large audience.
Well, I'll tell you, coming out, Tulsi, welcome to the club, girl. Surprise! Surprise! I think Tulsi is very strong. She's brave. Yeah.
Did you say brave?
She's brave.
Oh, okay. Where's the collagen?
Yeah. And I think Tulsi's coming out strong, supporting women's sports. And that's what I do. We got to protect women's sports. We have to protect women's sports and keep women in there. We can't have Leah Thomas going in the deep end pool with her yellow submarine down below. We can't have that in the pool. With the women, we have to keep women in women's sports. So I applaud Chelsea Gabbard.
What type of weaponry are you willing to use to protect women's sports?
Well, I'll get my Suburban and attach a 50 cal to the roof of it. That's what, Four Horsemen with Reed that we do. We got the merch right here, folks. These are our shirts. Reed, you're selling them tonight, right?
Yeah, they're over on the table. I'm selling them if you want to talk to me afterward. We're kind of missing a presence without having Ryan Dawson on the stage with us here. He's definitely had an influence on all of us throughout the last couple of years. It's been kind of crazy. We thought about just bringing a bell and just dinging it every few seconds or so, but
just ringing the bell. And we've done what, 2 or 3 in-person things with Ryan?
Yeah, 2.
So he lives in Japan, so he's our co-host, so we do once a month Four Horsemen, and the time difference is insane, because Reed and I are here in New Hampshire, Ryan is in Japan, and then whoever our 4th guest is wherever they are, so lining it up is kind of crazy.
Yeah, when we had Sean Atwood on when I was living in Utah, it was like 5 in the morning for me, and then 7 in the morning here, and then like 1 in the afternoon for Sean, and then 10 o'clock at night for Ryan or something.
Right, well Reed's space-time continuum was also really thrown off because he was in some kind of cage at a Mormon compound with Warren Jeffs. Did you see that? The documentary about the Mormons and Warren Jeffs?
No, but I believe it.
Ooh, it's scary. But yeah, so we did a few events with Ryan this year, and it's interesting. And probably, who here has a Twitter account? Who's on Twitter?
We do the tweets. And it's interesting when you take an interaction or a relationship or a collaboration that only existed virtually through YouTube and online, and then you meet the person in real life. I mean, like, when you first met Ryan, how did it match up against what you saw, like, online? We did our Four Horsemen on YouTube.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'll fully admit the whole Meghan McCain stuff is undeniably from the Dawson influence. So the kind of in-your-face, like, aggressive humor, but in person he's a very nice guy, and it tends to be the case with everybody. You know, like, the aggression comes out online. They'd say stuff to your face they'd never actually say in person, I find. Although with him, I mean, if you if you came at him the wrong way, I think he would say those things to your face.
Well, it's like, I would say it on Twitter, but I'm fucking banned on there. I'm banned on everything. They banned my P.O.
I'm
box.
banned on AOL, I'm banned on Facebook, MySpace, I was banned in 2005.
I'm fucking banned on Ask Jeeves. They banned my P.O. box and had her silent. But it's just interesting, and this is crazy. When's the last time anyone here has been in a concentrated, like, area or space this size, or maybe even a little smaller, with people who are legitimate, no irony, like, Democrats, liberals, neoliberals, who like Joe Biden?
It's miserable.
Family, yeah. You got family in Mass?
Hey, Thanksgiving's coming up. It's coming up. Thanksgiving's coming up.
I know Derek can back me up.
Yeah.
I know Derek can back me up on this, but it was bad enough being in a BoomerCon Republican audience just a few days ago. So
It
was cringe.
Yeah, that's why I look. This whole thing's a cartoon. It's a fucking cartoon, man. Periodically with breaks of insanity with normal people who are well spoken and intelligent, like this room right now. Let's give that a round of applause. Jesus. So the only reason I say it is this week I live down in Peterborough in the Monadnock region. We got any love for the Monadnock region in here? Boo. Boo.
What about Mount Monadnock?
What about Mount Monadnock?
Okay,
What
I
about
haven't climbed in a while. Okay.
What about the section of Mount Monadnock that identifies as Crimea or Donbass? Non-binary, trans, non-conforming Donbass. Okay?
Boy, that's a good point. The Donbass region is non-binary.
It's non-binary, yeah.
That's the oppression of Ukraine and Russia trying to make it a binary choice.
It's transphobic.
It's really transphobic.
Very transphobic. So the only reason I'm saying this is this week I hung out with Orb Mommy, Crystal Queen, Marianne Williamson.
Wow, she's my other biggest fan on Twitter after Meghan McCain.
Yeah.
Dude, you were brutal to her.
Yeah,
I was, yeah.
Reed was pretty nasty.
I want to
her.
get into why you hate her so much after.
We can look at the pathology of that.
Reed's like, I hate her.
She's a neocon.
This is me being nice.
Well, actually, I called her Crystal. Bill. She was agreeing with Bill Crystal about the war in Afghanistan.
Gross.
And so I was calling her Crystal Lady, but I spelled it Kristol.
But you painted it and spelled it in Iraqi blood?
Well, the Taliban was only about 20 bombings away from accepting feminism. So.
So anyways, Marianne Williamson was on my street in Peterborough this week, and I'm friendly with Democrats. Like, I'm friendly with people that I don't agree with. I try to see the best in everybody. Reed can attest to this about my brother and I. For real.
Yeah,
We do.
for sure.
We do. And
I've always admired how you guys can blend in any group. You know, I mean, not that you pretend to be them or something, but you have a way of mixing with whatever the vibe of the room is and not, like, pushing people away.
Yeah, hey, Mozart guy outside, move the van. Move the van. No.
The urban moving system.
Yeah, move the urban moving system van. So Marianne Williamson was on my street. I wanted to go see her. I had her on Jackman Radio, what was that, 3 years ago? And she's fun.
It was fun.
We had a good interview with her, but I was in this room, and the first telltale sign is you walk in, there's a 71 to 74-year-old BoomerCon woman with a big fucking mask.
This is
So
this week.
this is this week, guys. So when you guys see people with masks now, I feel bad. I feel like
I start seeing from, like, Muhammad Atta's perspective.
you get to the point where you understand hijackings.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
understand it. But I feel bad when I see people wearing masks now. I mean, what do you guys feel when you see it?
You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, yeah.
Extra birth.
Give him space, you know.
Yeah,
Trust the
yeah.
science.
Right.
Fauci says he is science, but he's not.
Magic jar.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really upset that they're allowed to vote.
Well, we're going to talk about repealing the 19th. We will. We'll talk
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
just a little side
Only
note.
half of them.
Justin O'Donnell and I almost had Marianne Williamson on a podcast,
Right.
all three of us.
You guys had it.
I screwed that one up.
We're bringing her here next time.
Yeah.
Special lady's coming.
Well, you don't know she's coming in right now. She's right outside. No, she's not really.
But I just wanted to go and see her and say hi, and she's going to come on my show again. And it was just it was just interesting.
Four Horsemen, maybe?
Reed's like, oh.
No, definitely not. But it's interesting because I just feel like we are all so much online, and I'll admit I'm addicted to Twitter and Instagram and everything. But when you are in real life with people that you don't agree with much on, you can still be civil. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. We're still human beings, man. We're still, here doing our thing every day and doing our best. And like Reed said, the shit you'll say on social media to somebody is not what you will say in person to them to their face. At least I won't.
I will.
If it's Meghan McCain.
You're talking to a room full of New Hampshire liberty.
That's true. Yeah, I guess it's that's true.
They're not your fucking friends.
Okay, well, no, I'm not even there to be friends. I'm just, it's just there to hear a different perspective and reinforce and remind, how wrong they are and how
Well,
wrong.
I mean, if
their
I met
views are.
Meghan McCain, I would use it for the Kodak moment, just because it would go wild,
Oh shit.
May I remind you, he also has a photo with Meghan McCain. I do. He'll be signing prints after the show. You were in college when you took that photo. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, Dawson took that to another level. He actually, what did he mail her, Reed? Ryan Dawson.
Yeah,
mailed
Ryan
her-
Dawson.
Where did that beer come from?
Came from the Dunbars.
Yeah, Ryan Dawson, I think it was a quadruple XL shirt with a picture of John McCain's rotting face on it with maggots crawling out of it. It said Sic Semper Tyrannis under it, and he folded it up in a flag and mailed it to Meghan McCain.
It actually happened. And McCain's like, my friends, the surge is working. You ever see John McCain saying, the surge is working? One eye is kind of like this, and one hand can't go this high because he was flogged by the Vietnamese after he tried to pull
What does
up
Ryan say about the tumor?
John McCain's tumor went on a suicide mission.
What does it deserve?
It deserves a Medal of Honor? I don't know.
Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, Nobel Peace Prize, yeah. Yeah, meanwhile, Henry Kissinger's going to be 100 fucking years old next spring. Can you guys believe that? Evil really does never die.
I want to hear Jesse Ventura's opinion of Kissinger.
Well, which Ventura do you want to hear? Do you want to hear?
I'm used to him doing it.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you the,
That's
yeah.
good. No, you're good.
Well, I'm a Navy SEAL. I served. I'm a veteran, Reed. Have you served? No, I didn't think so. So shut up. Shut your mouth. I served. Maybe in the Mekong, maybe not. I'm not going to specify where it was. What I will specify is that me and Arnold tried to kill the Predator together. Arnold had better luck. I didn't do so well. I tried very hard. But Arnold won that fight. He won that time, but wait till the reboot, folks.
It's the pre-Parkinson's that really stalls the act,
Yeah, you gotta look. I got a lot of love for Jesse. I got to spend an hour with him. I interviewed him. I rented out a bar in Brooklyn, New York. I went to New York City, guys. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Has anyone been there recently?
Yes.
Where in New York?
Madison Square Garden.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Billy Joel? Eric Clapton?
New Order.
New World Order?
Ooh, New World Order.
No, they said they saw New Order. That's a good show.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
love New Order. Yeah, Depeche Mode. Yeah.
We were there recently on the bridge, and we still saw the Urban Moving Systems band pulled over on the side.
We did. But yeah, so I was in a bar in Brooklyn with Jesse, and I got an hour with him, and I got to sit down and interview him. He's a cool guy. He does have a lot of libertarian views, but he went a little boomercon with the.
What did he
World Order.
see in his capital?
I saw a Confederate flag in my capital. I'm not going to...
Talking about January 6th.
They brought that flag into my capital.
I don't know. You can't help but laugh a little bit. You know?
You gotta laugh.
It's just like
Dude, the people who were there doing that, majority of them either half retarded or feds. Like, fuck, you're worried about that, man. That's the thing you're gonna focus on right now. But no, I'm on Substack right now. I did underwater demolitions for the Navy SEALs. No, we love the body, Reed, right?
Of course.
You love him, right?
Oh, I love him. I want to get him on the Four Horsemen, man. That would be epic.
We'll try and
We're
get
working on
him.
it. We're
Yeah,
trying.
we'll try and get him on.
We try to make fun of these people and then ask them to come on our podcast.
It's kind of a weird, it's a little weird, but it works sometimes. The thing that introduced me to the idea of libertarianism was a house party in 2007 with Ron Paul. Anybody go to any house parties at Ron Paul in 07? Anybody here? Maybe we're at the same event. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know, do we still love Ron Paul? Ron Paul, Ron Paul, Ron Paul, Ron Paul, Ron Paul. There's your Ron Paul chant, boys. But no, we went to a Ron Paul house party, and I saw a fellow holding a baby, and he had a gun here and a gun here, and I was like, we're in the right place. I think this is the Ron Paul event. And a Ron Paul, not being a real career politician, but being a genuine good person. When he walked into that person's house, you know what he did? He wiped his feet at the doormat. I was like, I'm voting for this guy.
I think Donald Trump would have done that too,
Well, I would have bought the house, I would have bulldozed it, I would have built a gold-plated tower.
I would have named the guy's wife, too, by the way.
Yeah, so we had Ron Paul on Jackman Radio, which is, to me, I can die. That's the crowning achievement of my career, besides coming here tonight. We had Ron Paul, and Ron Paul was like, well, Donald Trump called me one time, and he was how do I get the libertarian vote? And what did Donald Trump say? What did he say to Ron Paul after that?
What did I feel like Stormy Daniels. Which way do I look? All you gotta do is take a look at China, take a look at my mushroom, okay? Look, they're talking about mushroom clouds right now with Ukraine and Russia. All I'm focused on is the mushroom right here, the orange mushroom, okay? Wait, what were you asking?
Something about Ron Paul and Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The phone call. It was
yeah,
talk about the beautiful phone call.
Not the Ukraine phone call.
it was a perfect phone call, okay? It was perfectly legal. It was a beautiful phone call, okay? Zelensky was getting pegged. He was smoking crack with Hunter, by the way. He was doing it with Hunter. No, Ron Paul just dropped this tidbit that I've never heard him talk about before, that when Trump was he president, Mike, already, or was he running?
I think he was president.
I think he was already president.
Yeah.
So Trump was already president, and he called Ron Paul and basically asked him, how do I get libertarians to like me?
You know what Ron Paul said?
Ron Paul said, you don't. Good luck, Mr. President. Live by the sword, die by the sword. That's what he said when Chris Kyle died. That was a pretty fucking base tweet. I don't know if you guys remember that. Chris Kyle, the American... What did Ventura think about Chris Kyle?
Oh, yeah.
Chris Kyle, the American liar, he slandered me. He did. He said that he punched me out in some SEAL bar. It never happened. Never happened. Something may have happened. There may have been some kind of Lexington Green skirmish, but I don't think that Chris Kyle punched Ventura out.
No, there would have been more witnesses.
Yeah, I was on blood thinners too. Do you think if some guy punched me out, punched Frankenfurter out at some SEAL bar, that the cops wouldn't have been called? It never happened. But yeah, when Chris Kyle died, Ron Paul put that out. He said, well, live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah, he did the Muppet arms.
Well, he did the Muppet arms.
Ron Paul does the Muppet arms.
Well, the Constitution. Yeah. YMCA. Make sure you buy gold.
He's a Congressman Paul. What's your take on Iraq? Well, we marched in there. We can just march on out. And how right he was, There's a great meme. It says, if I told you so was a person. It's just a photo of Ron Paul. That just sums it up. Sums it up, Reed,
Yeah, we were talking earlier today about how, Ron Paul is the only guy who started a movement that made it about something bigger than himself. So the ideas live beyond his campaign and they'll live beyond him. And he wasn't even the guy to come up with the ideas. He was just the guy to kind of inject it into the zeitgeist of America. And all these other guys, whether it's Trump or Bernie or whatever, like it's not about something bigger than themselves. Yeah, I mean, it's not something bigger than a slogan or bigger than an election, and that's why it dies, but this actually lives on. That was just something I was thinking about.
Well, ideas are bulletproof.
I loved what you said about Bernie earlier. Reed was like, yeah, Bernie's just AOC, but old and ugly. It's true. I really see that.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders.
And then Bernie was like, listen to me, Reed, okay, 9% to 10% of all the beers in here are all mine now. That's my healthcare plan. My healthcare plan, see your beer? It's now my beer.
Bernie, I thought you were principal. Why did you endorse Hillary Clinton in 2016?
Look, I endorsed Hillary Clinton. I did endorse her. Because I like to ride on private jets and I wanted to see my grandkids graduate from high school. Hillary said, Bernie, if you endorse me, we'll give everybody in Vermont a scoop of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And I'll let you live to be 80 years old.
Bernie, do you always hear a band playing in your head? Is that why you're always moving your
I'm conducting a socialist orchestra for my honeymoon. Me and Jan went over to Russia. We had a great honeymoon. She had a lot of sex. I wasn't there. I'm the original Brattleboro cuck. I'm also the Burlington cuck and the Montpelier cuck.
Why don't you like Bernie Sanders, Reed? You really give Bernie a hard time, Reed.
I do. I mean, I feel like
he's a fucking fraud.
Yeah, for me, it's not even the disagreements in policy I have with him. It's the fact that he sells himself as something other than who he is. I mean, he's a warmongering corporate hack, and he tries to sell himself as some sort of anti-war socialist. So even if he were a socialist, I'd still disagree with him. But I mean, he voted for the CARES Act. He voted for sending $40 billion to Ukraine. He voted for the Iraqi Liberation Act. He's just awful.
The list goes on, doesn't it, Reed? I think you are just discriminatory against old, white, half-balding, professorial-looking, crumpled Ben & Jerry's employees. You're against us. You're either with us or you're against us, okay? My wife Jan took the payout from the college. It was only $2 million. I mean, the best thing Bernie ever said was, he said at a debate with Hillary, he was like, I am not friends with Henry Kissinger. That was pretty good. We can agree with him on that one. We got to give him that one, but his record doesn't really reflect, really great stuff, does it, Reed?
No, not impressed.
Reed's like, he sucks. I saw him at the airport, I was like, you suck.
I said, I'm going to hijack this plane.
Reed, do the impersonation of the Jackman brothers impersonating you. So Reed has an impression.
It always starts with Reed's like, I was born in the woods and I had to forage for berries until I was 5.
My mom made me sleep outside. That's where I learned how to drive a truck. He's Liberty's truck driver,
I saved up $4 million in Bitcoin by the time I was 10.
It's all gone now. I don't have the password for the wallet.
Well, I think this is the part of the show where usually we have super chats and shit, but we wanted to do in-person super chats. So we got a tip jar here.
You don't have to put anything in it.
I'm going to be like Zelensky begging NATO and the United States. I need your money. I need your cocaine. Okay? I need your Stinger missiles. I need your F-16s. Send them my way, please. Okay? So if we want to do a couple of questions or scenarios or absurd things from the audience, throw a couple things out before we close it out.
If anybody has a question for
President
Biden,
anything. Oh, we haven't even got to Biden. Yeah, do T Biden up. We got Biden coming, guys.
Mr. President.
Hey, where's Jill?
Oh!
He's doing the dementia Macarena.
Okay, Mr. President, the event's
I hired
over.
a black woman. I'm serious. I grabbed her by the scruff of the neck and I went. I said, "Is that cocoa powder?" Man, I'm serious. I
I don't want Hunter and Bo growing up in a racial jungle. But I'm woke, I'm not racist. What was your question? Look, man, you want to go do some jumping jacks out back? I'll go do them right now with corn popping up with a finger up your ass. Figure out who's better. Hunter's a great man,
Yeah,
folks.
Mr. President, let me ask you about Hunter's biography. What's it called? And
God bless
who wrote
him.
the foreword?
God bless my son, Hunter. He's got a big Biden dick. I'm serious. I said, look, man, you can't go into a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts in Delaware without hearing a slight Indian accent. It's all about the heart and soul of America. And Hunter has a new book coming out. You're gonna really like this. It's called Barack, Crack, and Iraq. He didn't serve in Iraq. The other one did. Anyways.
Yeah, Trump's like, I'm not talking about the one who fucking died from the tumor, okay? Remember in the debate, she's like, I'm not talking about that son, okay?
Yeah, we all kind of want to see that again in 24, don't
Yeah.
we? If Biden does, I mean, he might already be dead. They may have embalmed him 20 years ago, for all we know, you know? Because Biden used to be a serious gangster, a competent gangster.
Hey, listen here, fat. You want to come shower with Daddy? You want to come shower in the Senate bath with Daddy, Auntie Lindsey Graham? We're going to reanimate John McCain's corpse.
Ooh, I'd like to shower with Dad.
John, I got Lindsey Graham here supporting me. He's called my bars and shit.
You goddamn right you do. My name's Lindsay, and if I become president, my sister gonna be the first lady. And I'm gonna get on the aircraft carrier, and I'm gonna lube up all them boys who are in the Middle East. Cause listen, Reed, someone's gotta do it. I wish there was another way. If there was, I'd do it. And I love Joe Biden. I love Hunter Biden. And I did teach him how to shower. I did. I taught him how to shower.
I was like, Hunter, you want to come shower with Daddy? Ashley's not here right now because she's in rehab in Florida with Matt Gaetz. But I said, look, this is about the soul of America, Reed, okay? You're a truck driver. You're trying to put food on the table. You're trying to do blue-collar things and screen. I rode the Amtrak. You ever ride Amtrak? I rode the Amtrak. I know about wages and gas bumps and stuff that's tough. Look, we can do this, folks. Hunter's been sober for 95 minutes. Vote for me in 24.
What do we think? Joe Biden, everybody. The hell with the libertarians. We got Joe Biden. Oh, fuck. Well, we've been up here quite a while.
I have questions, I don't know.
Yeah, any questions or anything before we wrap? Any scenarios, any absurd fantasies? Anybody,
Come on, Toad, you gotta have an absurd fantasy.
Anybody want to talk about China and the Rocket Man? Little Rocket Man, okay? He's a great guy. Look, I said, I will unleash a fire and fury, the likes of which you've never seen. And then 30 minutes later, he wrote me a letter like you wouldn't believe. He wrote me a love letter that Stevie Nicks wished that she wrote in cocaine, okay? For Mick Fleetwood. Which one was she married to?
Well, she fucked Fleetwood, but she was married to Buckingham.
Okay, so she fucked them all, and she fucked Buckingham Palace, by the way, apparently. Okay, we didn't even talk about the royals tonight. We didn't talk about the royal queef. I'm so glad that bitch is dead, by the way. Thank God. We got out from under the thumb of the reptiles, but not really. Well, so that's, oh, yes.
So, President Trump, President Biden,
Yes, ma'am.
do you think that
Remind me
Hillary,
of my daughter.
do you think that Hillary Clinton should be our next president?
No, I think Hillary Clinton should go under my desk.
Well, look, she spent a lot of time, okay, over on the island. They're gonna have a very tough time with the island, okay? That I've never been to. I went to 25 times. I've never been there, okay? I never went to the island. But I think that Hillary Clinton's a disaster. She's horrible. Why the fuck would you want to go interview for a job and sit at a desk that your husband jerked off at 1,000 times? Okay, I never understood it. I never saw it. I never knew why Hillary would want to do that, quite frankly. She's terrible. She's a terrible lady. She's got a lot of hate in her heart, and quite frankly, lock her up. We said lock her up.
We said we did. It was a nice thing.
It was a nice thing that we said we never did it, but we said we'd do it.
Reading your video, you said so Tulsi did endorse Crooked in 16, right after after Bernie dropped out. But Tulsi did sue Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
she did actually sue her, and what happened with that? Did that ever?
I think she just dropped it, didn't she? After like 6 months.
I don't know.
Isn't that what? Wait, Eric is now.
Eric might know. Yeah.
I don't think it got thrown out of court.
Because Trump said lock her up, but and then he dropped that after he won.
Yeah.
But Tulsi actually sued.
I have sort of an ironic love for Trump in a lot of ways. Like we
all kind of root for him, like the retarded older brother.
Yeah. After the whole emails with the Benghazi emails with Hillary Clinton, when Trump became president in 2018, he signed a law that raised penalties for holding classified information. And we know how that paid out for him, so it's just kind of funny. I love him.
I actually heard that some of the documents and classified information he had at Mar-a-Lago may have been related to the JFK files. There's a couple of really good JFK researchers who have talked about that. And it's funny because in 2017 when he got in there, he was like, at long last, the Kennedy files are all going to come out. Okay, that was like 5 years ago, and they didn't come out. And then
Trump is great when he's not president. That's what I found out about him. I mean, he just says all the right stuff until he's president, and then it just goes away.
Yeah. So do you think let's talk about 24 before we wrap up. Do you guys think the prophecies are all going to come true, and Michael Flynn's going to ride in on a Griffin with Trump coming back?
I don't care what happens as long as you know how I feel about this. As long as we have Trump versus DeSantis in the primary, I literally don't care about anything else.
That's going to be the pay-per-view event of the season. And this is what our politics has devolved into. And I really love what you did with Jeremy Coffin. Have you guys seen Jeremy Kaufman's ads? Make war gay. Make the bombs gay. Dude, I love that. I love that shit because it's so true. Raytheon's Gaytheon. You had a point?
He's like, wrong.
24, what do you see? Dave Smith?
Yeah.
Tulsi running in the...
Dave for the Libertarians. We like Dave Smith in here. We like Dave Smith. Yeah. Tepid, somewhat.
That was kind of tepid.
It's an awkward comment.
You know who we should run? We should run the Kyle Reese of the Liberty Movement. Scott Horton from Anti-War.
Yeah, let's run Scott Horton.
Scott Horton, I'm working on my Horton. I gotta have some Dr. Pepper. He's like, they went over there, McCain's over there, hanging out with the Taliban, saying we're not gonna fund jihadis, but they did it anyways. And they sent a big crate full of super soakers with battery acid, Reed. And then John McCain went over and posed for photos. And Reed's like,
Yeah, no, the king runs again. King Trump runs again. DeSantis, I mean, that would be a bloodbath, those guys in a primary. But you got other ghouls circling the wagon. Pompeo's coming up. He endorsed Bolduc.
He looks like he got gastric bypass or something. Have you seen? There's less of him.
He's what Chris Christie wishes he was. Christie's like, fuck, it actually works.
He's on a strict diet of only Zionist sperm.
And Iraqi blood. And Iraqi blood. But yeah, all the ghouls are going to be up here. It's going to be amazing. And we have a front row seat to it. But I know everyone in this room gives a damn. Everyone here is educated. You guys care. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to come here tonight. And I just really, everyone, give yourself a round of applause. Appreciate you guys inviting us here. This has been a lot of fun. And New Hampshire is a special place. We give a shit here, we pay attention, and for better or for worse, the rest of the country does look at what's happening here. Because they know that we're engaged, we're a small state, but we give a shit. And freedom and not being fucked with is very important to us. So that's why I like the Liberty Movement, that's why I was with Ron Paul in 08 and 12, and I believe in what the Free State Project is doing, so I appreciate everybody here and what you guys are doing.
Thank you guys so much.
Live free or die is not just a fucking motto or a bumper sticker on a plate. It's how everybody here lives their lives every day. It's how I try to live my life. So, Reed, this was awesome, man. Scott, where's Scott? Where's Scott Scheller? Scott, thanks.
There's Scott. Give Scott a round of applause.
Thank you. And where's Justin O'Donnell? Where's Justin?
First time meeting Justin O'Donnell in real life off Twitter. He's a lot nicer in person. Sweetheart. Great guy. You guys have all been awesome. I really appreciate that. If you like what we did up here tonight, Jackman Radio is our podcast, and I do Four Horsemen with Reed, Naturalist Capitalist. I can't even talk. And that's pretty much my closing thoughts. Anything else from you guys?
Yeah, no, that's it. I really appreciate being here and seeing everybody. And oh yeah, how about Ian Stewart?
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Ian Stewart. Welcome to Maine. Yeah, Mark. You guys are freaking legend, man. You guys are comedic legend. Thank you, Ian, for coming here.
Yeah, he's good.
He was good. He's very good. But yeah, no, I had a blast, and it's nice to be in person and do this stuff. And you know, libertarians have been right all along, and it's not even just about that, man. It's about opening up people's minds to the idea of freedom, of true freedom. You know, of not asking somebody if they had an experimental jab in their arm on a street in front of other people. That's not freedom. But I think we have it right here in New Hampshire, and you know, there's no other place I'd rather be. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
I'm just going to end by saying, fuck the neocons, fuck Don Baldick, and fuck Meghan McCain.
Thank you, Shell.
Infowars.com.